Okay, guys, back on. We were talking about 263, and I wanted to show you how the armor is good, but not good enough as the E3 and as on the other uh, tank destroyer, brawler tank destroyer. So as you see, good gun, good rate of fire, yeah. But we talk about the dispersion is such bad on this tank. Yeah, the armor is good, yeah, good, very good. This part is just bad as fuck, and they can penetrate here if they have friendly minimums of penetration. If you angle a little bit, they can actually try to sneak a shot there. And this is the worst part. It is overmatchable by 90 mm gun. If you just go like this, they can overmatch you. So I don't suggest this tank for beginners. I try to go as faster. D line is just a no sense. D line, these tanks are all fragile, and this is very strong. These are very accurate tanks, and that's all. Russian heavy tanks. This is the best noob tank that you can get. Good armor, good speed, but the gun sucks pretty hard. This is a tank that you can play rolling medium tanks, or you can actually fight heavy tank with your good armor. Just if you fight heavy tanks, hide your hull, because the hull is the weakest part of the IS-7, and use only the turret if you can do it. The problem is that you don't have the gun degree that can actually play it as a hold down, but or else you can actually pay the shot on the cheeks or simply holding the lower glasses. But this tank is fun. This tank is good. This tank has good mobility. This tank has a good armor. But the gun sucks on this tank. The gun is really bad. Bad penetration. No, good penetration normal, but APC are just useless. The accuracy is very bad. D-line is just a no sense. Neither of these tanks are similar as the IS-7. IS-8 is a good tank, good penetration and all, but doesn't have IS-7 armor. Same as IS-3, it has a nice penetration but not IS-7 armor. Do I suggest it for beginners? Yes. Yes, all the way long. This is the best tank for beginners. You can actually learn everything on this tank. Trollish side armor here, because inside here it's angled. You see this? It's angled, so you can't expect to penetrate it here because you bounce it. Because of this, I heard such lots of times, I bounced it here. What the fuck? How bounced it? Of course, even this part says it. It's angled. You cannot penetrate it. Same as the IS-8. It's angled. It's angled there. You have to shoot right here. You have to shoot right here. 100, the 100 here, or here, or 100. You can't shoot that. Even the IS-3 is freaking angled. The angle says that you can shoot here or here. Never shoot there. The IS-7, it is an angle setup, same as the IS-4. IS-4, another great tier 10 tank. It is more brawler, so this branch is really higher armor respect IS-7. It has better gun respect IS-7, but doesn't have the same speed that makes IS-7 better for even a new player. And worst thing of this is its alpha damage feels so sluggish with 10 seconds of reload. The line of the IS-4 is much more painful because this tank doesn't have the same armor as IS-4. Do I suggest it for beginners? Yes, this is a good tank for beginners if you want to learn how to play it and how to receive stupid bounces with this tank. How to play these tools? Just brawl enemies. Just brawl enemies. Medium tanks T62 and Objet 140. I suggest T62 more only because of 7 degree of gun pressure. Respect the 6 degree on the 140. But even the 140 is good. 140 as a better gun penetration, but worse turret armor and better hull armor. This one has a better hull armor and a worse hull armor. So I suggest Moti 60. Wait, do I suggest this for beginners? Yes, I suggest this for beginners because these tanks are pretty good for big and medium tanks. They have a nice armor, they have nice guns, very accurate, very fast firing, good penetrations. and they are fast. T110 LT, as all the other light tanks, I don't suggest T110 LT for beginners. Yeah, you can say this is a pretty much a medium tank, but I still don't suggest it. I don't feel that I can suggest this. The line even here is good. T3485, these tanks are nice on their tiers, and this tank has just stupid hit penetration. Ah, they nerfed it. They nerfed it, his penetration. It was just so stupid. But I suggest this gun. Even it has less DPM, just use this. The T4, this one is a good, but don't grab this fucking gun. Grab this one. This one is good too. So these were the Russians. Now let me see if it is faster because I have RAM memory problems. British. The British tanks 183 millimeter. I suggest this only for if you want to do damage. If you don't care about anything, if you don't care about playing the game, if you just want to be a cancer and spending credits for these hash shells, grab it. Unless if you don't care about that, this is a trash tank. Doesn't have camo, doesn't have armor. It has good penetration, but not good dispersion. It is low, not the greatest DPM. Yeah, it increases with this ones, but don't grab this tank. This even the line is just painful. 82, 88, 87. These are painful. These are playable, but these frees are painful as fuck. Don't play it. FE 4005. This is the British tank destroyer that you have to get if you want British tank destroyers. This is good gun, good accuracy. It has even the let me remember the consumables that makes you the intro clip better, and of course the spawn liner. Even this one has the spawn liner, but I don't speak a lot about uh, about consumables and else because they don't change anything. If you don't know how to play this tank, you can have all of everything, but you will never play this. If you don't like it, don't grab it. But this tank is a nice gun. It is one of the best tier 10 guns in the game. On all because this one is just it feels like a T57 Heavy Patton steroids. It this more damage and has more penetration and the rest of the load. So this is a great gun. The FE for this little beast here, this little beast here, even this one, it's a pretty nice. Only if you use ash ammo. Why that? Because with ash ammo, it reaches a stupid amount of DPM. If you don't use ash ammo, it is just a force medium tank. Yeah, really. Just use this one. Use this gun. Grab your calibrated and try to do as much damage as possible with this gun. Don't ever dare to use it with the other gun. Yeah, the upper plate is troll, but your low tank and the turret isn't even trollish. They can penetrate you very good here. So use the ash gun. Don't use the other gun. This tank is good only for if you're using ash. Both of these three tanks, I'd never suggest for beginners. Both, I think, all the British, I don't suggest for beginners. This line is nice. The line is nice. This is a I think the greatest thing if you want to if you're a beginner. This line or the mediums. The mediums, the problem, the line isn't great. The line is this one is great, just as hell as ash as hell. The Centurion, this one is bad, not the greatest. And that's it. Light tank, Vickers Light, very nice tank, very good gun. HE, British HE, a nice speed, a nice camo, nice gun depression. I think this is the best light tank that you can get in the game right now because I don't like tanks without gun depression because they are so difficult to play in some maps that if you have gun depression, you can play them very good. And you can stick out only with the turret. With the T100, you have to stick out with every single part of the tank. But this one, no. These tanks are this is just broken for tier 8, and this tier 9 is very good. Do I suggest for beginners? No, because they are light tanks. FE 2050B, don't grab it. Yeah, it has 3000 DPM, but it had more. With this tank, you have only the DPM and the gun. The gun is awesome. If you are searching a heavy tank with a good gun, grab this one because this I think this has a very nice gun on its own. It has good penetration value. It has nice HE. It has good penetration, but guys, it doesn't have the HP to withstand with the others. It doesn't have the HP. It doesn't have the armor to extend against each other. Because yeah, it's good here, but you can't even angle a little bit. You can penetrate it as hell. You can't do scraping very well. You can't do anything very well because it has a bad hull design. But you can actually make this work. It's not as bad as the E5, but I don't suggest this one. This tank, it needed its old gun that he had more DPM and more hit points to make it work. On this state, I don't suggest this tank. Japanese, we have tank destroyers and the STB-1. The Ori is a nice tank destroyer, but misunderstood. Because this one, as the Yaga rule, you don't have to play it on the first one. You have to snap with this one. Yeah, your 250 mm frontal armor. Yeah, I recognize it, but with gold armor, you're such a paper tank. They won't care about you if you have that 250 and you even have a good camo. The gun is awesome. The gun is the highest penetration gun in the game. I packed it gun rammer just of the sake of the meme. But don't grab gun rammer. Just grab gun rammer. It's just better. You don't need high amount of penetration. You have this humongous amount of penetration with AP, so better stabilization, better penetration, and overall, and even the gold shell penetrates really good. Yeah, it deals the same damage practically. So don't use gun. Don't use use gun rammer on this. Use gun rammer. This is good. This can be good for beginners. For a tank destroyer, I can suggest this for beginners because it has camo, it has speed, and why not a gun? Uh, all the line is nice. This is, I think, the worst. But this, the tier 10, the tier 7, the tier 8, the tier 9, and tier 10 are just nice tanks for being tier 10 tanks. The STB1, uh, it is a nice medium tank, but in this state, I'd suggest you more the Patton. Why the Patton? Because the Patton, it has just a better gun. The STV1 doesn't have the Patton gun, and yeah, it has a good turret, but the DPM and the penetration value as such are just low. You don't have the DPM to compete against other medium tanks. You have one of the lowest DPM, apart maybe of the Progetto and the TVP, and another autoloader, but they are autoloaders. You are not. Your DPM is such bad for being this medium tank. The even the accuracy, yeah, it can seems good, but remember you have this low DPM, so it could be even better. The only good thing about the STB1 is its turret. Its turret can withstand shells, and even the upper glacis can withstand shells if you're on top position. But the problem is that here you can be penetrated in these cheeks here and maybe here. Why not? Yeah, here, maybe here, why not? But on the other hand, it is nice tank. It is a nice medium tank, but I don't suggest this for beginners. Just, I think you can actually be more perform better on the pattern respect on the STB1 because the STB1 doesn't have the good DPM that the pattern has. The pattern is 500 more DPM or even 400, but just a better DPM, better accuracy, better penetration. And yeah, the line sucks. The line I think is one of the worst. Apart of the Type 61 and the Curie, this tank wants to make your rage quit the line because this is just a bad tank here. This one is nice, a worse version of the Leopard, but it's nice. The DPM is bad, is very bad the DPM, and that's it. It is better this DPM. It is better the tier 7 DPM respect to tier 10. Chinese tanks. Devo copy and paste the 268. Same characteristics, the same thing. Come on, this is the same thing. Even the line is practically the same. So yeah, it's for noob. All but only if you are sniping, because if you go on your first line like for a 268, it isn't noob tanky. Yeah, you have a stronger upper blade, but don't go there. You are trying to show you are supposed to snipe. The Chinese medium tanks are good as hell. They have a stupid amount of aiming time and a very bad dispersion values, but they hit hard and they have a good DPM and good penetration value. And the armor is good. The only problem with these ones is ultimate armor, and yeah, they are crazy. Apart of that, they are very nice. They are stupid. Like this one has a good gun, very good gun for its rear. Yeah, but the accuracy is just bad. It's just awful. You can decide to actually, of course, mount stabilizer to actually improve your accuracy, and you can use supercharger or this one, but don't improve it. It's just still based, but supercharger. The problem with this one is, yeah, it's a little bit, it's armor that, yeah, it's raw sometimes, but it isn't strongly armored as the Russians. If they mount Goldem, they companion, but this tank has a much better gun respect the Russians. Just for the 420 alpha that you don't expect from a medium tank. Even the DPM is just good. I suggested yes, but the line it's kind of painful for what it is. But this I suggest more this one for newbers because this one has better gun. The problem with this one is it's just a bit slow to turn, but the gun is just much better. Even the armor, even the hit points are just much better, and even the line is much better. So this one is just a slower version 121, but with better armor, better gun. Yeah, I suggest more the Chinese heavy tanks, but the medium tanks, even if the medium tank is still good, I really like it. It is a good medium, very underrated. French tank destroyer. This one, I don't suggest this for beginners. Yeah, you can have a pretty good autoloader gun, but where the fuck is the accuracy? You don't have to destroy your accuracy, and you don't have to expect to snipe with this one. You just have to go in the front line. 7 seconds of intro clip. It's just so bad, so bad. I uh, I prefer this from a respect to Grille, but Grille performs better respect this one. Don't grab it. Don't grab it. Even if you're a good player, just don't grab it. Even if you're a begin, don't grab it. Don't grab the tech. If you want a French, I think the only one that you have to look on is the 50B. Even for that, if you're a beginner, just don't grab the 50B and don't grab the Bashation. If you are not a beginner, the 50B can be a pretty interesting swipe up respect to T57. We talked about T57 I think 1 hour ago, and we're on another auto loader gun tank. The problem is that the 50P doesn't have the same armor as the 57, but it's kind of similar, as I have to admit, but doesn't have the same punchy gun that the 57 has. Yeah, it has a better accuracy and APCR that I prefer more, but doesn't have the same gun. I don't suggest this for beginners, but I can suggest this for good players because this is such a fast tank with a great gun, with a great accuracy, and a good 10 degree of gun depression. But this thing is such high as fuck. And another good thing that this tank can do is ramming. Yeah, it can run, but with a French tank. So don't expect to get more bounces. Just gonna ram someone maybe on the open field when he's alone. Bashation 2050, nice tank, but it's one of the worst medium tanks. Yeah, it has good DPM, it has good creep, it has good penetration, but there are such better medium tanks for the Vickers T100, and the Bashation falls behind. It is a nice, but not for beginners. All the French branch is not for beginners. Not for beginners, but they're nice, apart of the tank destroyer. Let's start with the last nation, the European nation that can bring you some joys and some bad things on. on here. Start up with the Kranvagn. Kranvagn has a good gun. It has a good turret, good speed, but the gun sucks pretty hard. Yeah, I know it has a good penetration, but the accuracy and the reload makes this tank very bad. Sorry, this tank again very bad. And I don't suggest this for beginners, even for good players. I don't can't feel to suggest this tank because there is the Yo, T57 and the 50B that can perform better. And I know this one has the turret armor to go on its own, but the DPM is just awful. Just even the reload, it can be a nice tank, but I don't suggest it. But on the tech tree, yeah, this one are normal. This is OP and this is very bad. 60 TP Lewandowskiego. This is a good tank. This is a good tank, good gun. Accuracy doesn't exist here, and don't compare this with the E100 because this doesn't play the same as the E100. This is a more hold down position tank, and no, you can't do very good side scraping. You just hide this part and try to angle it a bit. But I suggest this even for beginners too because this tank has just a stupid armor, stupid turret armor, and a nice gun. Nice gun, good penetration, good. Not really. The reload is bad, but it apart of the 100, this is even a bit faster. So I suggest this even for beginners. Good tank, good brawl tank, and even the line is just good. Even the tier 9 and the tier 7, they are just good. Even the tier 6. The Progetto 65. And the only Italian tank here. The Progetto is a very underrated medium tank and a very bad played medium tank and a very difficult playing medium tank. But if you can play this tank correctly, this is a beast of a tank. This can substitute Leopard 1 and T57, the Russians. If you can play this medium tank correctly, this is, I think, the best tier 10 medium tank. Why you say so? Not the others say that. Just because if you know how to play how to reload your tanks, you basically smash every other medium tank on the garage. This auto reloader is just broken in my opinion. It is very good. Free shots, a free 350. This is like the MX50B auto loading gun. But you have autoloader, so you can shoot only one here, another one, and you can use all your damage. You can optimize damage with this tank. You can optimize very well damage, and the armor is very troll because this is very angled. Even if you do all this, you can bounce here. So I don't suggest this for beginners, but I can suggest it for beginners even if you someone wants to play because this is such a good tank in good hands, and this is a good tank if you want to learn how to play. These free tanks are very good. These are nah, they are nice mediums but not very good. These frees are just good medium tanks. I really love them, and they are so badly played. They are so badly played. You can't use them as auto reloaders. They aren't auto reloaders. They are auto reloaders. They aren't auto loaders. They are auto reloaders. You have to know the difference, because if you play this like an auto loader, it's just bad because you have this bad EPM here, and you load one, and you every 7 seconds for the 350, they will just smack you. But if you use this shell, it's just better. You have 10 seconds here if you count this one. 10 seconds to do 350. Last tank in the game, the TVP T5051. Uh, how is this tank? This tank, it's pretty nice. It's, I think, the better version of the Bashation, even if it doesn't have the same DPM. But this autoloader, it's pretty punchy. If you know, it's pretty punchy. There's 4 shells of 300 is 1,200 with uh, this nice penetration that it goes here. The problem here is that it is big and doesn't have any armor, but it's fast. I don't suggest it for beginners. This is good. This is just trash. This is normal. But this is one of the best tier 9 medium tanks that you can get on the end zone. This has there's good characteristics here. So uh, uh, I'll just briefly summarize these funds because maybe I don't want to, because yeah, my memory gone away, and just to summarize this as fast as I can because this video is pretty long indeed. 25 minutes. This is great. So if you have any other suggestions, if you don't understand how to play this, just tell me in the comments. I'm really glad that you type me in the comments because there I can write you more and I write play how to play them. I can send you links of videos on how maybe someone explains, but even mine reviews that I made on the single tank there. Just tell me in the comment. This is just a summarize on the tank or how the tank performs. So I said these ones are pretty hybrid, heavy tank destroyers. The T124, I can actually suggest it for new players, even if I don't suggest even T124 because the line here it's good. This is bad. This has bad DPM, but it's good. But the problem with T124 is neither heavy, is neither a tank destroyer. It is a good tank, very good tank, I really like it, but it's neither one of those. And it has same problem as a heavy, and same problem of the tank destroyer. Doesn't have the view range, and doesn't have the side armor of a heavy. The T123 is just a more specialized tank destroyer, just for prowling and hold down, but doesn't have the turret. It's just slow, and the side armor is just bad. This makes me want more the E4 by respect to the E3. They are both nice tanks, but this one is even harder to grind because this is low as fuck. But I don't. I suggest the E4 for beginners, but not E3. The 3 don't grab it. It is a good tank, but I don't suggest for beginners. The one time just avoid it. Just avoid it. I think this is the worst tier 10 in the game. The worst because no DPM, no speed, and the normal armor on other hold down tanks. For example, as the Yo. The Yo is just another multi-role tank that is good on even on the beginners. I suggested this for beginners. It is good. It has good gun. It has a good accuracy, good damage per minute, and it has a nice penetration value too. It can be playable with two guns, one 20 mm and one 5 mm. A 1.5 is better because it has more DPM and better accuracy. The 120 is just more hard hitter, but with less of everything else. The line of this tank is nice. You have this M6-YOH and M7-YOH that is kind of bad, but these two are very nice tanks to play. So why not to grab the M6-YOH? T57 Heavy, I don't suggest it for beginners, but this is a monster. I don't suggest it for beginners because it doesn't have. It is like the E4. Yeah, expect this to be like an E4, but with less armor. So you have a heavy tank, but with less armor respect to the tank destroyer, but the gun punches harder. So, but of course it is an autoloader, so you have to wait to unload to use all your shells. But T110 is just a good tank. Even the line on T5041 is such an underrated tank. These phrase, I can understand if you don't like them. Maybe not the T71, but this is just an underrated tank. T57 Heavy is just a super tank. And M60 is just a hold down tank. Even if you can play this hold down, they are just better on a hold down, but you can brawl with them. T57 Heavy, you just have to support your allies. Just stay behind another more armor tank and shoot on the back. Oh, and shoot when they are when the enemies are shooting to him. And 48 Patton is such a good multi-role tank. It has good gun, nice armor, and some trollish side armor, as I pointed on the other view, on the other part of the video. But I will never load it because it is 1 hour just to describe Germans and Americans, but it has a nice gun. The speed is one of the worst of medium tanks, so I don't suggest it for this. There are better medium tanks that I describe it here for the beginners. And the line itself is not great, but it is nice if you know how to play low penetration tanks and if you know how to just pump up damage. This is just for the sake of the meme. This Sheridan is a nice tier 10 light tank, but it's the worst. Even the Bashation is better. This is just if you want to pack up 500 damage on the others. This is just a meme tank. The bull tank is nice, even the Shafiq can be a nice medium tanks, a light tank, sorry. But I don't suggest light tanks anyway, because you'd have to know all the maps and how things goes. But this can be nice. Germans, I made a part of the Germans. Grille, it's nice only if you want if you want to snipe on it. Not armor, good mobility, and one of the best gun in tank destroyer that can have. But the spotting sucks and the concealment sucks. So I don't suggest you really Grail 15 as a first tank destroyer. But if you play the 268, you wanna know, I kinda like this tank destroyer playstyle. Grab the Grail 15. The line is always Grail 15 style, nice guns, very paper, and these ones aren't fast. The only one is fast is Grail 15. Jagdpanzer E100. Jagdpanzer E100, I suggest you to play as a tank destroyer. Just step back and snipe. But I don't suggest you, because I don't suggest you get Jagdpanzer for one single reason. You are tempted to push on it. You don't have to push on Jagdpanzer 100. How many fucking times someone has to tell you you don't have to stay on front line? You are not a heavy tank. You are a tank destroyer. You just have to stay back and snipe. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. You're a fucking tank destroyer. You just stay back and snipe out of or snipe things out of there. So it is a nice tank. Instead of the FV, if you want high damage tank, you can grab the Jagdpanzer. I can suggest it. It is nice. But the problem is that you don't have to push on it. Because that tank, yeah, it has some armor. But you don't have the HP to do it. The E3 is just stupid armor. That tank can be penetrated on the lower plate. It's super big, and with gold armor they can penetrate it very well. The E4, it is fast, it has mobility to compensate the less armor that it has. Japan is low and doesn't have the good armor. It doesn't have the best armor that you can get on first line. So I don't suggest for beginners, and I don't suggest for pro either. I suggest if you want to have a meme tank. But why I don't suggest for pro? Because pros want to play a fast tank and not as low tank as the Yagaru. But you can grab it. It's a nice tank. The line is just stupid. This is just stupid tank. This one as good is a very good tier 7, not played a lot because no one knows how he knows that this one exists. And I suggest you the Ferdinand just because the Jagdtag and Yagaru are as low as the Ferdinand, but Jagdpanzer 2 is better. So if you want to grab the Jagdpanzer faster, play the Jagdpanzer 2. German heavies, they are very similar. They have great armor, the E100 and the VK, they have great guns. They punches really hard, and the VK72 has its tungsten shell as the 60 TP that can make you punches really harder. VK72, I will let it apart because it's difficult to angle if you want to bounce on the hull. It is good. It is a good hull against AP, but not good against its shells, and you have to angle it in a strange way. I will show you here right quickly. You have to angle it like this, hiding this part and try to baiting shot here. Oh, just cover your hull. You make it faster. But you don't have to get the pressure to do that, so you have actually to use it as a super heavy. It is nice. The line of this is very nice, but stupid. Why? Why you say stupid? Because this plays differently than this one, and this one plays differently than this one. So don't expect if you play this one, you know how to play VK72. If you play this one, you know how to play VK45. But for the sake of the meme, E50M is much more similar than and the VK45 respect VK45 respect VK72. You will understand later because this has good gun, good accuracy, good armor, good movement. This one is just a mouse. It's just a mouse. It has a 460 alpha damage gun, and it has good side scraping capabilities, and I think it's the best tier 9 German heavy tank. And this one is not. This line is just stupid. The Tiger P is very. The Tiger P is much more similar to the BK72. Respect these two ones. Even this one is much more similar. Respect, not for the speed, but for how to angle it. Mouse and the Human 100 are very similar. They are both side scrapers. They are both slow with the decay, and you have to know how to angle your tank if you want to survive on this. But I suggest them for beginners because you have to actually know how to angle. The E100 is the best one because it is the easiest line on the game to do. These are all good tanks. They are all similar to the E100. If you know how to play VK36, you know how to play the E100. The little bit difference is that the accuracy decreases as you go on. The accuracy decreases. Starting from here, the accuracy decreases. So that is what you can expect. Even the DPM just decreases for the tier. So this is the only thing that you can expect from the E100 line. But it is the second best one apart of the IS7 for noobs. The line is the best one, but the IS7 is better for noobs. The E100. The mouse is for noobs too, but a bit less because of the gun. Only for the gun. If the gun was better like the old days, I would suggest the mouse all day long because mouse was just stupidly accurate. But and it was good accurate, but now the accuracy just doesn't exist anymore. And these tools are nice. These tools are nice. The motion is probably the worst one and the worst of three. But the VK100 is such a uh, good tier 8 tank. Just it is good. The motion is bad. It's not good for tier 9, and the mouse is just stupid for tier 10s. You have 185 millimeter 210. You can actually angle this tank just in a stupid way. So it is that's it. It's the mouse. It's just super armor tank. E50M is the best tank for medium tanks. Why? Because it's like the VK 4502A, fast with good armor and good gun. And the armor is good. You can side scrape on this, and the gun is nice as you can see from here. And the speed is just awesome. You can ram everything on this tank, and that's it. So why this is good? This is good for the combination of armor, speed, and gun. And as you see, it is 250, but it's very small. So you can actually move forward and backward and make the enemy bounces lots of shots. The line itself is nice. The Panther 2 is a very nice, even the 50. If the problem with the 50 are just the modules. The modules are just too much. And the Panther 2, it's nice tank. And the Panther is a nice tank, even. And this one just normal. The Leopard 1, I don't suggest for beginners, but this is better than the Destroyer respectively Grille. You have more DPM, you have more accuracy, you have a better gun, not the damage and not the penetration, but you're faster and you have more camo. This is just a sniping medium tank. And here the armor decreases. This is the most armored and decreases from here. This is yeah, you can actually do that. Because the area you can actually play it as a Leopard, not for the penetration, but it is a fun tank, the RU-251. But yeah, this is nice tank, this nice line for uh, pro players, but not for beginners. The last one is that this is just the noob tank for tank destroyer. Good armor, good gun, and good mobility. You have good gun, good penetration, good camo value, and good speed. The only problem of this gun is the ISU, that it's very hard to get this gun. So all the others are good. So guys, I made a really long video because I made an hour before to just talk about the memory just disappeared. And I made the video all. I want to specify this. This is just a summary of what the lines are and what I suggest and how to play them on a summary. But I suggest you can understand how to play on looking this video, but I suggest you to play to see more reviews. I made lots of reviews in this period, but I wanted to make this fast video for the minutes to show the tank on the game, how the tank are, and how the tank I suggest for newcomers, and how tank I don't suggest for newcomers. So, guys, if you like the video, put a like. If you don't, put a dislike. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye, guys.